This is Vaughn Clement, and this is A1 CRM PM Pro. This is the newest in a line of 3 CRM products that includes project planning, CRM and PM, which is the first program, and CRM and Salesforce. This application was designed for the advanced project management and other forms of documenting and managing programs. This is the main menu that we're on right now. I want you to take note that when you read the user guide, it will be explaining a lot of the things about this application. I'm just going to cover the major items in a tour. For example, what we'll do is review the different screens that are available in this application, starting with the customer screen and then going through the proposals and proposal tracking. This application was designed to do a better job for the management part of the company in tracking the money details and tracking the vendor interaction and project management overall buildup of proposed projects. So let's go into the customer screen and start there. The customer screen has two distinct parts. There are tabs at the top for additional screens where we consolidate a number of screens into one, where you can actually see the different screens by popping the tabs open. On this screen, basically the screen shows the major contact or primary contact that you're dealing with in the company that you're going to be doing a proposal for. The detail information is added on this screen and then passed down to different screens in the application. You'll notice up here at the top that there's an unlock, which means that you can add new records, and this is covered in the user guide. There is a notes field, generally about current notes about this client. There are other screens that will do detail information as far as managing the client. Related contacts are people within the company where employees of your company will be contacting or dealing with people in those different companies that you're working with. And this is a way of tracking the information for these individuals so that if you needed to contact them, you would have the direct access to them. This is a select portal over here where each person that you are contacting in different companies would be listed here. If you click on a client, it'll actually change to their record. Clicking again will bring you back to any other record. You can also use the find command, which is up here, to take any field in the basic screen, not in a portal, but in the basic screen, and do a search on any field or fields to find information that you're looking for. Okay, the access back to the main screen is here. If you want to show and hide the menu at the top, you can click this button and it will make the top menu disappear to give you better visibility as far as the screen view on small screens. And then there's the find, which is looking for those kind of things that you want to find data-wise on any screen. These are portal buttons that will allow you to scroll down through the contact list. Okay, let's go ahead and move on through the next screens. For example, the address that's added to your record for your primary contact is presented to you in a Google Maps where you can see the exact location. Depending upon if you have to go to that location, you can get directions by clicking this button here. Additional data is a unique thing that I do called UDF fields. And UDF fields are fields that have a title field and an input field. The purpose of these are that when you have to add additional information or fields that I did not provide you a slot for, the UDF fields will do that for you, where you can create them. And these also can be used in finds. So for example, if you created a specific field that was going to be running in all the different clients, you could use that as a find and use it across all the records. The other option is to use these fields as individual, unique fields that you would have to work with if you had unique items for different clients. There's a picture field in here. You can either have a picture of the building or the facility where the company that you're speaking about here is located, so you can see an actual view of it. This kind of goes along with the location map. Proposal tracking is one of the first steps you do in this program, where you're going to be developing a proposal based on a work breakdown structure. If you're not familiar with work breakdown structure, this is explained in the user guide. If you are familiar with it, you probably would embrace this because it is a very efficient way of documenting the structure and building a proposal and all the requirements that go into a proposal. This is information that you would have multiple projects for this particular company. You can have many if you wanted to for one company. In the user guide, it'll explain why we're coding the proposal number in this app to better find or to locate a specific proposal. There's a proposal delivery date, delivered to, and the actual value quoted for the proposal. We'll explain more in the user guide how that works. Point out one thing, that if you see dollar values, there's an international money symbol drop-down list that allow you to add whatever country symbol that you're using. And as you can see here, it'll post it throughout the application wherever there's a money symbol that needs to be shown. You can add your specific country if it's not available in this drop-down list by copying or pasting or typing it directly in from the keyboard. These next three tabs on the application are tracking and input fields that allow you to use one field to establish, in this particular case, an activity. An activity is something that is going to be done or needs to be done, and it allows you, when you click on this icon, to have a printed form that you can send out to either employees or somebody in another company related to the activity and how you're tracking it. This is also covered in the user guide. To return to the main screen, click on the title for the field, activity track, and then meeting track is similar to it. And then in this case, what we're doing here is setting up an agenda. We're putting in a list of the attendees that were at this meeting or going to be at the meeting, and then meeting notes that can be carried down through this. And you can have as many meetings as you want to. If you click on the icon at the edge of the input screen, it'll also provide you with a mailable agenda, so you can send it out either to company employees or your vendor or the company that you're working with, depending upon who's going to be at the meeting. Again, to return, you click this field. The last one is the action items track. Action item tracks are items that you assign either through a meeting or on general daily business, where you have an employee or somebody in another organization like a vendor, where you need to assign some kind of a action item. Now, you don't normally send out an action item to a vendor or somebody else's company, but this gives you a form that you can keep in touch with them and look up what action is being done and how is it progressing into its completion. You can see that there's an action start date, a start date and action type, and a finish date that's proposed to happen at one point. They're all under IDs, so they can search by the ID to find a specific one. Let's go back. There are things like a list menu that will show you all the customers in your application as far as who's been entered so far. Clicking the blue arrow at the end of the row brings you back to this particular screen. This is part one of the presentation or tour for A1 CRM and PM Pro 4.0.